Hi everyone. Can you imagine that your customer could try your product, explore your space, or even experience your brand all without ever leaving their home? That's the promise of AR, VR technologies that are no longer just for gamers, but powerful tool for business. And once I experienced it, AR, VR technology during a training session, and I could say it was quite real. In this moment, I realized what potential this technology have in a marketing. So today we will speak about AI, VR technologies for business, for marketing, and for this topic I have a special guest. His name is Ivan Pavliuchenko. He is a co-founder of AREYES studio, which helps global brands, global companies like Meta, Sony Music, L'Oréal Paris, or Red Bull integrate AI VR technologies into their marketing campaigns. So today will be very interesting. And for those who are new on my YouTube channel, my name is Hannah. I'm from Ukraine. I run my own digital marketing agency, and I'm a creator of YouTube channel Berlin Biz, where I explore business opportunities and startup scene in Berlin, in Germany. And today we are talking about AR, VR technologies. Let's get started. Ivan, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us today. How are you feeling? How is your day going so far?
They going pretty well. The weather is really fantastic. I would say, considering the fact that Berlin is quite famous by its bipolar weather, today is actually feels like a summer, even though it's almost at beginning of September. But I'm
Yeah,
really glad.
so today we have such an exciting topic for conversation. First, it's always interesting for me to talk about new technologies, about marketing. And the second, it's always pleasure for me to talk with someone from my home country, from
Yeah.
Ukraine, and to know how they are building their new life from scratch in a new country. And it would be interesting to know uh, your story today. And but we are in Berlin
Yeah.
right now, and yeah, let's start with Berlin, okay?
Okay.
So tell, how did you end up here, and what brought you in the city? So
Uh,
tell your story.
so my story is quite simple. I was always fascinated by the Berlin. I mean, as one of the huge kind of like hub of Europe tech, and I travel visit in Berlin pretty like often. The main reason, of course, that we forced to relocate some of our team here in Berlin due to the war, invasion of Russia and Ukraine. So we um, try to build our life here and choose the Berlin because again, as the one of the biggest creative hub, there's a capital here, the startup scene pretty rich and diverse, and the international community. So that's probably one of the main reasons, and the access to the talent. It probably was one of the most important reasons why we sell.
What
sell.
was your first expression about Berlin?
Actually, I mean, I like it. I like it because it's super diverse. I mean, a lot of people say, "Hey, Berlin is quite dirty city, something happening." But for me, it's the city have a harmony. So I don't like the super polished, ideal things because our world is not ideal, and Berlin ideally extremely well represent that. So you can be the artist, you can be startup entrepreneur, you can be, I don't know, just a lady in a pension. Every kind of like group can, or community can find its own kind of like comfortable environment and be in harmony with everyone else. So for me, Berlin is represent the harmony and balance and everything. So it's kind of like underground, so you can feel the vibe of the big city, as I mentioned, the capital. But at the same time, it's super green, clean, the transportation system. So like personal wise, I feel myself here pretty comfortable, and I like Berlin because of that. And it's remind me my hometown, like Kiev, super green again.
How long time have you been living here?
Yeah, almost like 4 years.
So what is your goal in Berlin? What do you want to do here?
At the current moment, I mean, my short-term goal is called language, so I'm really invest a lot of my time in that. But business-wise, I looking for an like opportunity here in Germany as well, because we see there is a lot of kind of the new wave where businesses exploring the technologies, and again, with the movement in Europe realizing that it need to be also the powerful innovational hub, not be laden behind by China and United States. So I see a lot of promising opportunities from that as well, but from the government side in terms of supporting innovation, supporting startup and entrepreneurs. So I think Berlin in this regard could be a really great place to be, and I'm happy to actually settle down myself here.
Mhm. Okay, so let's speak about the AR and AI technologies.
As a company, we mostly work with gamification. So we're helping businesses, enterprises gamify their marketing activities by using augmented and virtual reality. So technology is just a tool in order to achieve the goal.
Since today we are talking about the AR and VR technologies, I think it's important to start by explaining what they actually are and what the difference between AR, VR. Can you explain in a simple words for people who are not so familiar with this kind of technologies?
Sure, sure. So in short terms, like augmented AR, augmented reality, is stand for when we place the virtual content inside the physical world. So virtual content intertwined with the physical world. VR, which stands for the virtual reality, it's when we fully immerse ourselves into virtual world. So nothing related to the physical world, we completely immersed in a virtual environment. So that's probably the main difference. So in AR case, you can interact with that within your real world environment where you are, like, I don't know, um, running, doing sport, but at home. In VR, we basically can replace the physical reality with the virtual reality. That's main difference.
How you started work with AR, VR technologies? What lets you into this field?
Oh, that's a super exciting question. So I'll probably start first. My first interaction with AR VR was about 7 years ago when I worked at that time in one of the most prominent web agency in Ukraine, Vintage. They are, I had, I guess, top 100, one of the best web agency across the world, according to a awards. There's one respected organization. So, nevertheless, and I did marketing internally. So my goal was to experiment a lot with the different marketing tools that we can utilize for ourselves and for our client. Because at that time, the Vintage basically worked with a lot of mobile web development, but also try to tackle or work with a different, provide more value to their client via different interactive marketing tools. And I do remember we played a lot with the instant experience back then. It was first introduced by the Meta. So basically, you can build the micro website inside the ad, inside the carousel. So you click it. So super interactive format of advertisement. And I do remember we work with augmented reality for our business cards. So we implement the kind of like the marker on the business card. So you scan the marker via your phone, and then the logotype appear in 3D. It was like super cool. And I remember when I was in one of the conference, every time when I showcased this to the people, to the clients, to potential folks with whom I had a conversation, they're like, "Wow, that's so cool!" And surprisingly for me, most of these people reach out later. So it's basically work. And this is the first time when I really understand the power of the AR. And later VR, we did implement in the website as well, when you can basically in VR can scroll the web page for one of the client. It was again super interactive, a lot of immersive, kind of like it feel differently. And that was the first time when I realized the power of augmented immersive technology as the tool for marketers to deliver the storytelling. And I was like amazed by it. And later, like 2 years later, lucky for me, I met one of my co-founder, current co-founder, Alex, and he was the first person who got the beta for Spark, Meta Spark at that time in early 2018. So Meta bought the Masquerade. It's a team from Belarus, I guess. Before that, Snapchat bought the Luxury. It's a team from Ukraine, actually. Then and they started building their own AR engine and technology for their social media. And this is basically I call it the second wave of augmented reality when it comes from web to the social, to the mobile, to the social, from just web and mobile to the social. And we was the first people, like basically my co-founder Alex was the first person who got the beta, and he started playing around with that, and he realized the potential of augmented reality that will be within very near future. There will be a lot of brands who will definitely try to like tackle this or try to work with these technologies, and there will be company who will serve this demand. And the idea was, why not build a company who will help brands to basically integrate AR VR into their marketing campaign. So this is how everything started. And I still remember when he like basically pitched me idea, like just share his vision, and I back at home and I can't sleep normally. Really, I was like so excited about it. Yeah, inspired, excited. I did my research, I checked about the industry, and I realized this is kind of like the really great timing to do that. And at that time, I already kind of like thinking about my next endeavor, because I mean, we all growing professionally, and I thought like this is a great opportunity for me. That was a great team, and why not try it? And
Why is the AR technology relevant for business today?
I would start like, it's not specifically for the businesses. Let me step back to the one step back from AR specifically. So first and foremost, why it's relevant. So we need to understand right now we're in a kind of like in the forefront of the new technological cycle, and its cycle includes the evolution of advertisement. So all advertisements that we see and track on a daily basis is different that it was, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. It's more interactive, like again, new media, digital and stuff. So the second part is that the rise of gaming and gamification. So basically gaming became a kind of like new medium. And the third one is AR VR as a like, let's wrap this as a mixed reality. It got in mainstream. And businesses, it's all collided together. And the business is why it's relevant, because they really need to understand that the way how we interact with the content, depending on its marketing content or business would try to deliver some message to the potential client or customers, it's changing. So the behavior is changing, and you one way or another need to explore and try new things. Is like, look back when before dot-com bubble, so all advertisement was outdoor. So we have or either television, radio, like newspaper, and outdoor, like this billboards and stuff, and it's work. Everyone like not even try to say this is the only major way how advertising work. And when the web appeared, like internet, in early era, if you remember, there was a literally the websites which consist only like a lot of advertising banners.
Yeah,
So people like
I
spend,
remember this time.
yeah, and people are just spending money, and there you just click on a link just to see the ads, a lot of bunch of ads. But now
And
everything,
it worked.
and it worked. Yeah, it's really worked because people was just curious. But now, and then like these tiny banners, maybe you remember in early Facebook era. But now advertisement is more interactive. So when you interact with the ads, it's more mini game-like experience inside your app. So, and this is basically allow marketers not only deliver the marketing messages, but which is super important, but do this in a kind of more sophisticated way that appeal to the modern way how we consume the content.
Yeah. What stops companies today from integrating AR, VR in marketing campaign? Is it complexity or something else? What stops? What do you think?
In my like humble opinion, there's like three major cornerstone like stones, I would say. So the first one is the lack of education. People not really understand why they need to work with that. So if you don't understand why you need to work with this technology, this is the first thing. Because again, and lack of education, it's a lack of compelling use cases. They're existing, but actually like media usually, or even developers itself, are not, they um, kind of, they stick with a solution, but usually it's just a down on all this media noise. So it's really hard to end clients get to the interesting, compelling use cases that relevant to them. So again, lack of from my perspective.
Lack of information.
Yeah, lack of information,
Right.
education. Even the big companies like Meta and specifically like Meta and other, they are. So what you see, they introducing the new technology. They introduce, hey, there's a metaverse, but they not really decompose what this mean for the businesses. So they giving you like highlight vision. You kind of like excited, but then what next? And this is a crucial part when you need to really decompose how businesses can integrate it, what difference between this sector and this sector. So this is very important. The second part, I would say, is the perception, as you mentioned. I do believe that biggest opportunity is MSB, like medium and small businesses. And for them, the media, again, creates kind of like narrative that this technology available only for big corporations. Because every time when you hear about the AR, VR, and kind of like new thing, when this technology was incorporated anywhere else, it's probably like, again, Meta or I don't know, Louis Vuitton or some big brands, Nike, Adidas, and all that. In small in medium business, they probably think like it's for the big guys. It's not for us.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. And the other part of the coin is that the studio or developers who provide that, they also chasing for this, cool logotypes. And when the even like super excited medium and small businesses reach out to them, hey guys, we really want to like we're curious about it, how we can play with this new tech. They just give them the price tag as for the big corporation, but it's not like, I mean, of course this doesn't work. So people are feeling frustrated, and they just think, okay, maybe it's not for me this time because I can afford invest so much money into that. But in reality, there is so many different approaches or the way how medium, again, and small businesses can right now today incorporate this technology and get benefit out of it. So, and the third one, I do believe this is a fragmentation of as a marketer, again, by myself, I saw that marketing people, they always live in their own bubble, but they always curious about new tech because this is the kind of the bread and butter to learn what's going on and how they can apply it in their work, because this will benefit the corporation, how they can, engage with the audience, how they can drive sales, go to market, and other stuff. So they always curious about new tech, but they always have a lot of different things to think about, right? So they don't have enough time to really learn about what specifically this technology mean for their corporation, for their product. And people in XR, they always also living in their own bubble. And even though the outcome of the work is super valuable for marketers or for businesses or like salespeople, and they not really have a kind of like bridge and connection to exchange knowledge. So I think this kind of like fragmentation is a big kind of like obstacles to really push this
Yes, I
technology
understand
forward.
what do you mean. From one side, we are looking for new opportunities, new technology, something really that we could use and our brand could grow quickly. But another side is so difficult to convince people, your team, maybe your bosses, to use something new, especially when nobody used it before. This is I understand. So we have to work somehow to educate, to bring on the market new technologies.
Yeah, and again, it's linked very well to the first point, like lack of education. It's really hard to convince because where are the materials? You need somehow to really get the information that the similar company from your category already use it.
If we started to speak about money, about how much does it cost, maybe you can say about budget-friendly options. What budget-friendly option exists for small, middle businesses? How much does it cost? Kind of
It's
solution.
Yeah, I mean, I always find this question pretty kind of like tricky, because it's like you really need to drill down to what the purpose of the business, what is the product, and what the goal you want to achieve, because we want to use transportation as a new way of technology.
Yeah, but
But and my question is, what kind of transportation? Do you want to like go from home to work? Do you want to go from between Atlantics? Do you want to between countries? You need a car? Do you need a bike? So it's and budget, of course, different. But I would say like the even simplest ER campaign with the interesting mechanic that can live, I don't know, let's say we have a Coca-Cola or the logotype. They can actually put the QR code. You can scan the QR code by your phone. You can hold your phone in a beverage, and this beverage somehow appear and unlock you Easter egg. And you're like, wow, that's cool. You click and share this in social media. Super easy interaction, right?
Yeah,
And
but if you speak about budgets,
yeah,
at
so
least you
yeah,
can
yeah, of
tell.
course, of course, of course. So it can start, like, I think it can start even from like $2,000 to the, I mean, in the AR space, let's say, to sometimes to the couple millions or like 6-digit figures when we talk about, let's say, VR, and we talk about like simulation, when we talk about like upskilling people or pilots in aviation. This is completely different story, right?
What is the most expensive in this way? Are the specialist expensive, or maybe technologies or ideas? What cost the most in this budget?
Okay, I usually simplify it on a three things. First is that what type of product you want to utilize. Is it gamification? Is it just your goal is just to increase the reach? Your goal is to drive sales. Your goal is to re-engage with the existing community. So what type of experience you're looking for, like mechanic at least. The second one is what is your time frame? Because again, if you have a show and or I don't know conference within 1 month, of course budget could be completely different because you need to more like human resource to execute so fast, right? If you have a project like, let's say, schedule in the next year, so team already has a much more flexible terms and they can utilize less resource, but anyway deliver the same quality results. So like timing as well, and of course the complexity of idea. So either it's create the full-fledged gamification experience or like simulation, or let's say we just want to bring to life our poster, marketing poster or like merch for our team. That's different. So that's different complexity thing. So complexity, timing, and probably the user experience that you would like to.
We are marketer.
Yeah.
So marketer speaks about numbers, about size and real. Maybe you can tell about some interesting project from your studio, how AI/VR technology help it to increase sales or customer engagement. Can you explain? Can you tell about some
Yeah.
interesting examples of successful projects?
Yeah, okay. I will first and foremost, I will just want to highlight that it's very bad thing to link the technology to the sales. So technology itself don't drive sales. Its approach drives sales. How you use this technology in which context. That's the first one. So in our case, I will can highlight like three examples. One in specifically for like corporates in context of the marketing, another one more VR related. So one of the project that we worked with a couple of years ago with the Sony Music. So it was our kind of like long-standing clients. We work with the Sony Music in UK and some department in States. So one of the project we did for George Ezra, it's famous like singer, global singer, and he introduced the new album. An idea was how we can re-engage with the fan community of the George Ezra, because an idea of the AR campaign was we'd create the digital twin of George Ezra, so everyone can place him wherever they like, and he will play just a small fraction of his famous like song. This is one thing, but most important aspect was we implement. So we play around with the target tracking. So there is a physical album cover, and when you purchase as a fan of the album cover, you can scan it, scan the QR code. You can again put your phone, the camera on the album, and album get to life. Some again Easter egg. So and it's create additional value to those people who purchase the physical thing. So in addition that I'm as a fan of George Ezra bought the physical album. I have this, the vinyl or whatever. I have also additional digital layer as a surprise, and only I have it, or you if you find you bought it and you have it. So this is bring additional value to existing product, and you can basically, if you can frame this and right, you can even claim the value of the product itself is go up So for fans, they know that not only they have a physical thing,
So it was most about engagement.
It's most about engagement, and of course people are willing to, because this is a uniqueness, they're willing to share it with their social media. So the brand itself got basically free like viral content, user generated content from the fans.
Did they measure?
Yeah. So this campaign helped them reach about like 10 million people across the board, globally. So I think this is a pretty, significant result. Another project, again, our campaign, was that we worked with the Ford Europe, and the idea was to introduce new Puma CV, like new vehicle, new type of the car, and this car was mostly for the city, like city car, but it has some sport capability. And in order to highlight that in our campaign, so the Ford actually put a lot of efforts into marketing and the outdoor everything and social media. They want to like, okay, why we not introduce the gaming mechanic of the car? So they use we help them to develop game like AR experience when we incorporate the kind of like mini version of this car with all the characteristic. We basically create the game inside the social media, AR game inside the social media. We utilize the real satellite data of the Brent Hatch. It's a real racing track that located in southeast England. So a lot of like real thing, and people can it's experience for about like 50 seconds, but it's fun, and it was promoted by the Ford itself and the ambassador, like real like people who the drivers, the famous racers. And this campaign helped them reach, I don't know, like 1 million people, but most importantly, from almost 1 million people, 10% of this audience, like 88,000, play in the game. So there's 1 million views, there's 88,000 play times, and there is a 2,000 and a half people share it. So what does it mean? So 10% of the people who saw that ad, it basically ad, it's game, yeah, it's fun, but it's advertisement. They play, 10% of them play in the game. So the average time spent in game like experience is 30 up to 30, 50 seconds. So can you imagine, like, people spend with your ad 30 seconds or 50 seconds? It's crazy. Usually when me personally, I don't know, if I saw the ad in YouTube, I just waiting for this 3 seconds or 10 seconds just to
1 to
skip
3
it.
seconds, I think.
Yeah. So,
Seconds.
and in this regard, like, people spend up to 30 to almost like 1 minute within game, and 2,000 of these people, 2,000 and a half, they share it.
Yeah, so it means that quality of message could be better when we're using just gaming technology and we are involving people to play with us. And it's really something that can get attention and involve people to interact with our
Exactly. It's
advertisement.
Yeah, it's basically helping build brands' emotional connection with the audience, and again, increase depth with interaction with embodied the users or audience inside the advertisement messages, where people not just call observers, they are participating and basically co-creating this experience together with the brand. So they invite the audience, entertain, so they provide entertainment. Not only we as a brand say, hey, this is our product, buy it. We say, this is our product, we create the experience to entertain you, to give you the fun, to give you the feeling of this product. And that's the value of what we want to deliver for you. And this is create, again, more deep emotional connection with the brand. And of course, in long term, there's a term like LTV, it's increased lifetime value of the customers. And so
Are there some other metrics or KPIs how we can measure that these technologies, the VR technologies, works?
let's distinguish the augmented reality and the VR, because it's completely different things. So when we talk about augmented reality in context of the mobile, web, or social, as I mentioned, like Sony Music and Ford, it was social AR basically. And the metrics there is basically the same as the classical advertisement. We have a views, we have amount of people who open or spend, reach, yeah, how much engagement, how many people open it, what the average time, and how many people shares. And I think the most crucial metric is this share, like UGC. So how much people share your brand content, because it's super rare in traditional advertisement that someone I don't know, reshare your
Advertise your potential customer, advertise you for their
and
audience.
the question, how do you think, what's the difference between, let's say, AR activation, the classical one?
Classical,
Let's do the example.
yes, I think that classical maybe we are not sharing too often, and I don't know, maybe engagement.
I think I can answer. So the key, the crucial reason is that the second one is invite uh, audience to be part of it. So you open the game, so you basically part of this game, and you record your experience and you share experience yourself, like you're within this kind of a game like ads thing. In case of the traditional, you observe it. So we just deliver you the message, you accept it or not, you like it or not. But it's not no involvement of you participating in this kind of like message. So the first one is just observation. The second one is more like we embody you in the context of our ad or our business or traditional like.
You know, as a marketer today, I understand that it's not enough to create some advertisement, some, I don't know, some video or poster. It's not enough. We need a huge budget to promote it, and ever on the market someone else who have bigger budget as you. So my idea is that as a marketer, we have to create something new. We have to create some idea how to promote our product and make it viral on social media, maybe media, to make it viral. Yeah, and the new technologies helping us to make it.
I agree with that. So let's say I remember like also one of the example of the really great AR activation. We had a client like Taco Bell UK, and the idea was like they introduced the new menu across the multiple restaurants, about like 1,000 restaurants or something, and the goal was to create the unique kind of the card. I don't know. There's a 100,000 these cards, and random people across the whole country, if they go in a Taco Bell store, they purchase the taco menu, they can be this randomly those who can pick the card, and inside the card you can again scan the QR code, put in the card, and then augmented reality kind of like game like will appear as a prize, and it's can provide you some you invited to some like gift, like participate in a gift entertainment, and at the end the lucky person can get even the golden taco. It's mean that you can during the 1 year go and Taco Bell eat for free. And in this regard, augmented reality was just a it 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 was just a tool to make it work differently. Of course you can create the web page or something else, but in terms of user experience for them, it was like something new and exciting. So they can use their phone, they can scan it, this card, and there's something appear. They can really make a video of it and share with social media in one click. So that's also one of the kind of like example how you can incorporate in the right way. So again, in more coherent concept, there's a that it's not like let's incorporate a technology and it's work by itself. No. In this regard, they can use variety of technology, but when they try to utilize the augmented reality, it just provides more emotional fun into the whole kind of like user journey. So from the purchasing this menu in restaurant, sitting there, be lucky enough to, I don't know, accidentally got this as a Willy Wonka. You remember this, like there's golden tickets. So some they Taco Bell place kind of like similar golden tickets in like in 100,000 different restaurants, and you can be lucky or lucky one to turn it on, turn it. And in order to activate it, you need to just use augmented reality. And most of the young people have the social media, have the phone, and
It's always interesting to play.
yeah,
It's interesting.
exactly.
We are all kids, and anyway, let's talk about a bit about marketing of the future. And so, what do you think? What kind of trends are on the market? So, what will changing
Uh-huh.
in the future? What do you think?
Yeah, I think my personal perspective, one of the biggest change and what you really, I think everyone need to pay attention on is gaming itself. So I think first and foremost, the gaming became the new marketing verticals. Like just basically the last year was the highest year when big brands enter the virtual worlds, they start playing with the gamification. And if you look on the, let's say, if you look on the Roblox, rising of the Roblox basically, people spend ton of time playing Roblox, especially youth. And in United States, Roblox already outrun the TikTok in terms of average time spent. So think about it, how much time people spend socializing, playing in Roblox environment. And all massive platforms, Netflix, TikTok, Meta as well, like there is a Facebook gaming, they all realize that potential because even though you're not a gamer itself, the behavior playing the games in the feed is a big deal, and every major like company, corporation want to tackle into that, tap into this capabilities and somehow interact gamification into their platform. So I think we will see very soon like kind of like convergence of the gaming and social media together. So Instagram, all social media will be more gamified and will be more, even right now we see a lot of gaming like content when you need to play something or do the tricks. It's really drive a lot of attention, and it's became more and more increasingly. So this is a thing, and just think in terms of a user behavior, like 26%, I guess. I read one study. So 26% is all media consumption is gaming. So just think about like 26% all media consumption is already gaming. So it's a pretty big thing. And again, we can think about gaming as a gamification. Augmented reality you can do the gamification. So that's what we basically did. We helping brands gamify the marketing activities by using this technology. But you can use variety of technologies. So I think gamification itself, gaming, will be and is a huge marketing trend that we need to just be aware of.
What kind of solution do you see? You said that we need more education, how new technologies works. So what is your solution? What do you want to do to educate people
Uh-huh.
about new technologies?
So what we can just first of all, not only we always try to spread the words about our work with the clients. So even right now we're making this podcast. This is my kind of contribution in terms of education, in terms of just to spread the word about that. This is a technology. This is it's existing. This is different variety of companies, how they can use it, what you can expect out of it. So that's probably my goal, and I encourage every developers or part of the participants of the ecosystem itself, XR, immersive tech, to spread the world. So a lot of things, sometimes I'm really surprised by like finding some really cool studio or new company that they have like specific use cases. And just because I know about them and I get to this, and this is so miraculous, like the really valuable use case that you can, it should be promoted by far by medias. And so again, because and I realized, understand that most of the creators, like developers, they good on developing things. So not everyone is a good like marketers for themselves. So sometimes all this good great work just holding on shelves and with a bunch of dust, and nobody know about it. So that's the problem. And the second problem that I saw is even working with our clients. So they managed by they, let's say, driving by the sometimes wrong expectations. And expectations was first, of course, placed by the big companies who like market makers, who are creating the hype that, hey guys, use our technology, this is new wave, and people expecting that if we use that, if we incorporate somehow, it will work by itself. But it's not. And when it doesn't work, they just, okay, that doesn't work, and they just put it on hold. So sometimes our problems was, we are not marketing agency by itself. We are more like creative engineering team. So we can guide our clients in terms of what could be suitable for them. And I always, for example, my ethic is, I always ask clients, what the end goal, what do you want to achieve? And if clients said, oh, we want to sales, and we want to do the augmented reality to drive sales. And if I see that there is a bunch of other ways how they can drive sales. I would not push augmented reality because there is any other things how you can achieve your goals. This technology not suitable.
But what are you going to do to promote what you are doing and to give maybe people more information about VR, AR technologies and gaming? And
Yeah, I mean,
what is your goal? Yeah.
okay. So I mean, for example, there's a lot of goals. But for example, we're currently working with one our client partner. He's a multidisciplinary artist from UK. He's from traditional background, but he's super interested exploring immersive field, specifically VR. And we work with him for about like 4 years for now. And the idea is that we currently develop one kind of immersive narrative story. It's like a immersive gallery, I would say. And working with him, we realized that he's a super great example of how traditional artists or even like traditional art organization can use mixed reality in order to preserve storytelling. So we as a team dedicated to also push this project with our client. We currently did one immersive exhibition in New York. There's months ago we did it in Berlin, big success, and currently planning also a couple other country cities like London and Tokyo, hopefully by the end of this year. So this is our, let's say, contribution in order to not only showcase our work, but also create around that we did the panel discussion when we invite other artists who one way from traditional background or people from the immersive field to share their views and invite the people from creative field or traditional art to learn from them. So create some kind of like, not only promoting your work, but also trying to contribute to how you can, again, showcase people how they can, an example of others, how they can use this technology and how this technology benefit them specifically. So for example, we currently work on this project and this is our contribution to education.
Your company registered in USA,
Yeah,
but you
so part of the team located here, yes, in Berlin.
in Berlin. And what is your plan about German market? What are you going to do in Germany?
Uh, I would say we're still in an exploration phase. So first and foremost, the Germany and specifically Berlin always was kind of the interesting. Let's say there's a personal perspective and business, like personal wise and business wise. So personal wise, of course, it's a big hub. Even business wise, like it's a pretty big hub. It's third startup hub in Europe. I think outpass only like London and Paris. The value of a whole ecosystem is about like $2 billion. So I think the only last year in Berlin was $2.2 billion in deals. So like active environment. So it's mean that here is a lot of capital deal happening. That it's probably capital 89% of all fintech startups located here in Berlin. So I think it's very kind of rich environment and dynamic. And we realize that people here are also and businesses as well looking for the new ways how to engage with the customers. They also not wanna be left behind, and they finally start realizing that. I hope. I mean, Europe put a lot of efforts in order to promote this startup entrepreneurial kind of approach and innovation approach. We can see that from the top. So.
And you have your company in USA. Why did you decide to stay in Berlin, not in USA?
I would say like the couple of reasons, like family first, and the second one just I would say one of our co-founder he's in US, so we a little bit exploring different markets as well, and United States not only one market. So for me personally, it's more like family wise.
Okay.
So that's why I
And
decided.
you are exploring.
Yeah, but
Or-
there was a period of time when I was back and forth between states and in Germany, but at the current moment I decided to settle down myself here. But we still have a clients, partners in states. We also and I realized that if I am here, why not exploring the German market as well? Because again, I definitely see a lot of potential here.
How can entrepreneurs prepare for this future now so they won't be left behind by competitors?
That's a really great question. I think the answer is super simple. Just trying a lot of things, trying, because otherwise, you can't be prepared if you don't work, if you don't have a kind of like skin in the game, I would say. So it's also appeal to the small and medium businesses, just trying more new things because you realize what doesn't work for you, what works before. Even the technology is changed and the way it's changed, but you gain a lot of like learnings from that, and you can see even, let's say, on a web example, the company who saw the trend that internet will be the big thing, they are winners. They will invest a lot of infrastructure, they invest a lot of new, they realize that, okay, probably in internet will be a lot of audience, they will somehow decide to look for our businesses, and they will build the website when nobody built it, because a traditional and conservative business thought like, oh, let's build another bookstore, and Amazon goes, oh, how about let's build a bookstore in in the web, and look where the tier one bookstore back then, and look where Amazon right now. So that's basically just a trying new things and see what works for you or what's not.
So this is a wonderful conclusion for our interview. Thank you very much for this interesting conversation. I think that we had a great topic today. It's always pleasure for me to talk with someone like me from my home country, Ukraine, and also with a marketer and a person who works with the new technologies. And today I think that we gave interesting information about how AI VR works, and that they are not for someone, not only for global companies, and it's quite affordable for small and middle businesses, and also nice conclusion to think about innovation and to test the new ideas, to test new technologies, because the world change very quickly, and you have to try, at least to try something new. Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe my channel, put the comments, and see you in the next video.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and for the great conversation as well.